Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Yakuza Kiwami on the Mysterious JG. I'm kind of in an odd situation here. I had to pause the ending scene. I think it's the ending. There might be more plot battles left to go, but we're pretty much deep into the ending as far as I can make out. I had to pause the game and put the PlayStation into hibernate. It's been more than 24 hours since it's been about 48 hours since that my PlayStation has been paused in the middle of the ending of this game. Uh, Now we can't easily go to our character bios and research what the hell is going on, and I have found I've really, particularly, it's come to my attention while playing Ghost of Tsushima. I am having a hard time. Maybe I'm getting older. Maybe I'm more distracted. Maybe I don't let's play with the care and attention I used to. But like keeping track of who the fuck everyone is, particularly when everyone has Japanese names, I've been struggling a bit. But even if I keep getting his name wrong, I know Nishikiyama. He's our sworn brother that we grew up with at the orphanage, who throughout the game has always been portrayed as being at best kind of a douche. Like even when he's our friend in those flashbacks, like the prologue before the whole incidents where some crime boss, I think in Tojo Clan, I keep getting Omi Alliance and Tojo Clan mixed up. It really doesn't matter. Some boss in the crime family we're working for, yes, I am going to recap some of the story now. He was going to get handsy with the girl that we're both in love with. I'm saying we as in Kiryu. Uh, he kills the guy. Kiryu steps in and takes the fall for him because he has a little sister that he's looking after. I guess the little sister died anyway along the way. There's a whole subplot with her and finding out about this corrupt doctor who was like, holding him up for money for his sister's operation. I kind of forget how that went. It sort of doesn't matter. It's giving him kind of a moral and upright explanation for why he was doing some stuff that seemed pretty selfish and underhanded. It just serves to give Kiryu a reason to step in and take the fall for him, other than just generic white hat good guyness. It's like, hey, you got a sister to take care of. Let me take the fall. I don't have anybody. Now, setting aside the very convenient amnesia that what's her name gets after all this happens, which is now cured, because if she'd known what had happened earlier, her actions wouldn't have made sense. But she needed to have amnesia to set the table, but now her amnesia needs to be gone so we can have a dramatic meeting between all these characters. But anyway, Nishikiyama, he's kind of the Fredo of this Godfather story. He basically, his whole thing seems to be that he's been set up as a patsy. They made him the head of a family, but they knew he wasn't really going to be able to pull it off. His own associates were pushing him around. And Jinku, who we killed in the last video, or Jingu? Anyway, I would say generic, he's the corrupt cop villain, but it would appear that, that appears to be a pretty big thing throughout the Yakuza series, for there to be a corrupt politician or cop. So Jingu is like the corrupt politician cop figure that we took out last time. Everything with Nishikiyama thinking he could take over the family was just him being manipulated and used to further Jingu's ends in ways that I'm not 100% following. But I understand in broad terms, yeah. The villain that we just dispatched was using this guy, but he still seems to think it's like he knows he was being used, but he thinks he's going to be able to turn it all around and actually come out on top after all by getting this money. And what it all really seems to boil down to is the fact that, and I get this, and this is a powerful powerful story to tell. It's been told in other medium before. When the hero is such a fucking goody two shoes that like the friend of the hero just gets sick of how much everyone loves the fucking hero. And I think that's what's going on here. He's Fredo. He's sick of being passed over. He's like, I'm smart too. I can do things too, Michael. And he's no Kiryu, that's for sure. And just being compared to Kiryu seems to have driven him to be even more of an asshole. Then he kind of already was, but I will guide you back to those early videos where Kiryu was a little bit soft-spoken and uncomfortable with the girl he liked, whereas Nishikiyama was all suave and full of himself. And that's I mean, when you have the shy, unassuming guy and the boastful guy in love with the same girl, that is like boilerplate setting for the girl to like the shy guy, because the shy guy actually has more pure feelings for her than the braggart who just thinks she's a conquest to be had. I'm probably overthinking that part of it, but what I'm definitely getting at here in these 5 minutes of rambling is Nishikiyama has been presented as being a jealous douchebag, but like there's been some unfortunate shit going on. He's been in some bad circumstances. It's not like he had everything and he chose to be a jerk. It's like, no, he had some bad stuff thrown his way. And I don't know how this story ends, except that I feel like if he had been portrayed more sympathetically up to this point, I'd be a lot more likely to think that he will be bad at the end. But he's been such a douchebag up till now. I feel like the story's going to redeem him at the end, just because he's been a douchebag and therefore needs redemption. But I really don't know where it's going, and I'm curious, so maybe I should shut the fuck up and let things go. And when I say shut the fuck up, I mean interject commentary constantly, but without having the game paused. Let's move ahead. 俺は100億を手に入れ、登場界を継ぐ。そしてお前から弓を奪い返す。And I'm gonna eat candy for breakfast every day. He's gonna take the girl too. I think you're a douchebag. I don't like you. そんなことして何になるの？そうやって変えた運命じゃ幸せになんてなれない。あなたは自分に都合の悪いことから逃げてるだけ。That's a really good point. 本当に運命を変えたいなら、辛いこともすべて受け止めて、それでも逃げないで立ち向かうことなんじゃないの？カズマやHarukaのように。うるさい! Don't tell me to be like Haruka. 俺を認めてくれないんだ. Because you haven't achieved anything. Nishiki, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. 俺にはお前の苦しさがわかる。俺は一番大切にしていたお前たちを。I lost you guys who I cherished. もう戻ろうと思っても10年前に戻ることはできねえ。Yeah, I lost 10 years, by the way. 逃げることはできねえ。だから決着をつけよう。But I think, yeah, Kiryu understands we are not. This is not being settled without a fight. Mommy, is he gonna kill the man with the suit? Well, we saw. I mean, we did see this in the opening cinematic, or the. Yeah, this is part of the trailer, basically. We knew at some point we were going to fight Fishback here. So I'm guessing this will be... I don't know, how hard can this fight possibly be? I think they'll make us fight it, but... Like, we've been fighting, like, groups of guys with guns. Alright, well, for one thing, let's start out by actually healing up, because we're at, like, nothing. Music is suitably dramatic. But there's no particular reason he would be a tough opponent. Like, I mean, he could be a tough opponent, but, like, there's no reason he would be... What am I trying to say here? He should be a tough opponent, but, like, there are gimmicks they've used to make these fights challenging against fully powered up Kiryu that wouldn't make sense here. It's the idea that he is a competent fighter, but that shouldn't be enough to beat Kiryu. Ah, fuck you. Took away my heat right before he did his heal up. That sucked. Anytime I go for the damn, anytime I go for that stupid kick, that means I was trying to do the tiger drop and it didn't work. Oh, and the get up and shoot at them, that never works. They always sidestep that shit. Trying something different with the input there that time. That should have been a tiger drop for sure. Alright. I'm just going to use this to build up some heat. Nothing like this one for building up heat. Except that I suddenly can't build up heat to save my life. Yeah, okay, I got caught down and suddenly just got spanked. Thank you for that. I was saying that this fight shouldn't be challenging, and suddenly I just can't do shit. Fuck, man. That move just does a shit ton of damage. He just gets to spin away from whatever you're doing and hit you for a ton. I believe he's the final boss, so it makes sense he'd be challenging in a gameplay version of things. I'm trying to avoid any of that. It's just like, nah, you're caught in it now. A little frustrated about how this fight is working, to be honest. Because, like, once he starts hitting you, it won't let me block, it won't let me evade. It's like he gets, like, with him, you hit him with a shot and a combo, he gets to evade after the first hit. It's like, okay, you hit him once, good for you. Now he gets to evade from here on out. Doesn't seem, but like with me, no, it doesn't work that way. I can't get hit with anything, or I'm drawn into a combo. Yeah, see? I hit him, he evades after that first hit. Okay, yeah, for once that follow-up punch connects and it leads right to a cinematic, but I was... Nishiki has become a douchebag. Oh my koi, keep rising to the top. Oh my koi, keep rising to the top. What the fuck? It's just like I block a hit and then yeah, he gets to do his little I am a douchebag dance. Like even when I'm blocking the hits, it's like now this one hit you. But you don't get to block his spinny aroundy punch. That's what I'm looking for. I think that's the answer. I need to just do tiger drops. Even if they're frustrating and they don't work every time, they do so much damn damage. Oh, that punch connecting, whenever it does, always seems to lead to a new cinematic. I guess they just want me to hit triangle within a rhythm or something? No, I called it a tiger drop. I kind of regret that the mama had to die. She is a nice character. Okay. Yeah, I'm going through more healing here than I did against an army of guys with guns, but... Yeah. That's nice. Just stomp him a few times. Alright, I just need to fucking throw your ass. I'm impressed. You made me take several of the healing items I had to get to the casino. That meant something, didn't it?
Kazuma!
You still got a bomb? Because we probably need to deal with that. I guess I'd rather have him as my dad than Koi Guy as my dad. It's a picture of you. Do you not recognize yourself? Oh, did her amnesia not include forgetting him? Okay, after her memory returned, she looked at it. That's fine. But I remember that you bought me this ring one time, and that it involved chasing down a guy who stole it. I had needs, you know. It is her fault for ending up with Jingu. Yep. Who's still here, by the way? I'm listening to this. Pendanto? Memories of your manliness. No, I'm able to handle myself. Well, I mean, the good thing, though, is that we're all together now and that everything's going to be fine. Just let me put this in the mail chute. Oh, but it's somehow the secret lock that opens up the Swiss bank account where she's put the money or something. Well, Haruka, we can buy a lot of small burgers with this. I'm not sure what good that would do. Oh, well, here's that bomb. Haruka, how could you? Oh, how could you still be alive? And then he gets shot from behind by... Oh, wow, he is not a nice guy. He is not a nice guy. Hold on, now I gotta shoot Haruka again. Yeah, I kind of figured she died somehow. I didn't know this was specifically it. The comically evil Jingu, who only shows up in the final act. Now, Nishiki, you gonna kill him? Because you're still alive. You're just beaten up. Yeah, okay. That falls. Kill my old girlfriend. Well, she set the bomb to explode. You could leave him in here with the bomb. That is true. That is not necessary. Okay, so he heroically kills himself in a way that is also likely to kill us and the small girl. You know, I got a feeling this building's going to be having a lot of incidents in the future. What? This is a 20,000 yen bill. This is crazy. Or 2,000 yen bill, whatever the weird denomination was. You know, I think if... This is a really messed up thing to say, and I apologize, but... This is a weird combination. Like, an explosion in a large public building, which is basically an act of terrorism, which, you know, obviously for now conjures up images of 9/11. Did this game come out before 9/11? The original version, not the Kiwami version? Would this be post 9/11? Because what they're basically doing is like, what if there was 9/11, but it involved money falling from the sky? Not a take on terrorism I'd considered before. Yumi. So, but I guess the other thing we have to now assume, Nishikiyama's whole reasoning changed based on the fact that we beat the shit out of him, because he was going to, you know, defeat us all and take the money for himself, and then he heroically sacrificed himself to destroy Jingu and the money. And what changed in the interim was that we beat the shit out of him. That apparently was what changed his mind. Yeah, that's all I wanted from you, apparently. I'm fine now with you dying. No, I don't think so. Pull your shit together. I'm sorry I never told you how cold it is in here. You see my nipple? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have married Evil Cop. That makes everything better. Well, I mean, it didn't give you a daughter and then try to kill her like several times, so... Why are you trying to escape me? I was nice. Except maybe the whole dying young right after I got reunited with my daughter thing. I kind of regret that. Mm-hmm. I would have preferred more than the one glance, actually. Would have been nice if we could have, like, spent our lives together, but... It's very Japanese, the idea that this one moment was enough. Mono no oware and all that. Don't become a pop singer. But you didn't really run away, Mom. You got amnesia. And thus Haruka's promising career as a young female track star is dashed in its crib. Well, so I guess the tower is fixed again, because I didn't see any explosion damage. That's my biggest issue with what's going on here. Well, Haruka, you're gonna have to carry me out of here. I got shot in the knee. And shake him like you just don't care. What's going on with Date? Is he drunk? I don't think he's drunk.
Kiryu.
What's up?
お前は悪くねえ。だが、この山で逮捕されたら、もうシャバに出れん。
That's probably true. These cops are all going to pretend they didn't find you here. Everyone I care about is gone. Sorry, Haruka.
だから、人思いに逮捕してくれ。ふざけるな。お前の戦いはまだ終わってねえはずだ。かけがえのねえものを守り続けろ。
No, I figured I'd let you and the florist take care of Haruka, actually, if that's okay. Well, what you have on your right. Yeah, there you go. That would be it. No, she'll have that weird kid from the park who we had to take to the hospital, and she'll have the florist in his, you know, open shirts. Hey, the car just doesn't feel like it fits into this universe, does it? Let's go. Let's cure you. Running away from another funeral. Apparently, he wasn't in that big of a rush. They weren't really like close. Wait, car on the wheels on the right-hand side. What is this, Japan or something?
ちゃんと終わったのかよ。襲名式と引退式は。ああ、義理は果たしたつもりだ。しかし、
To them, it's some kind of ritual. Know what I mean?
組長の襲名披露と引退式が同時なんてよ。で、5代目は誰にしたんだ？
Actually, Haruka is going to take over.
世良会長やおやつさんに恥ずかしくねえやつにしたよ。誰なんだ？まあ。 意外なやつだよ。
Majima.
元会長。つけられてるぞ。え？
It's not Majima, but oh, the Omi chairman. Big face. So if the Omi Alliance chair takes over the Tojo clan, then I guess the Omi Alliance had already overthrown him. I guess that's unexpected, logical in a sense. Although if you're in the Omi Alliance, you're like, well, we can never make peace with the Tojo clan now, because, like, the guy we kicked out has taken over. But you can also say, hey, that guy who wasn't good enough to lead us is their leader. We are number one. Woo! I'm off to Yakuza Kiwami too. No, we'll never see another sequel to this game. This is clearly the end of the franchise, but it was good to meet you. I don't like girls. But don't worry, you will find my spiritual successor in the Like a Dragon games with Adachi. Of course, you didn't have a homeless guy or a girl to hang out with, but we'll work on that. Yeah, if like Date ever met Adachi, I think it would be like William Hartnell showing up to talk to Tom Baker. That's out there making friends with stray dogs again. Don't let that dog get picky about what kind of water we give it. I don't like dogs like that. Yeah, so this has been a weird, like, just in terms of, like, what I've been up to, and, I kind of... Amazing Grace? Okay. That saved the witch like you? No, it's wretch. It's not witch. It's a different word. She once was lost. She once was lost, but now she's found. I mean, she has a lovely voice, but she's obviously singing this phonetically. My heart to fear. Grace, it caused my heart to fear. Sorry, terrible. No, it's in the public domain, I guess. I'm not sure that this song fits, like, at all. Other than it being a pretty song, I'm not sure that it fits in any way as the closing credits to a Yakuza game, but that's okay. Like, there's nothing more Japanese than pronouncing first as first. It's like, at the hour I first believed. This is, I mean, okay, I guess I was getting ready to launch into a whole thing. This has been a weird session for me. Like, I wanted to get a video or two of main story going, and I didn't have time to do a lot more, but I got pulled into the ending. And now I'm coming back 2 days later, and I'm trying desperately to wrap up the ending. Because I literally owe Bobo a phone call as soon as this video is over. Actually, I can text him real quick. But yeah, no, the end of this game, I don't know. I'm not, like, I think we've got a lot of, we've got some post-game videos that we need to record. Although they could stop at any time. Like, if I just can't get flippin', well, no, my dad is texting me about the Republican debate. Okay, he's kind of bored of the debate and is texting me about car. I have to buy a car. I was in a car accident. I haven't mentioned that on air yet. I'm fine, but I need to buy a new car. Anyway, okay, yeah, no, this is typical. Like, I wasn't expecting to get into the end of the game in this session, and now I'm like kind of distracted as I'm even trying to do my normal talk about the game over the credits stuff. And then I got thrown off by Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace is just a weird choice. It's Amazing Grace is a very pretty piece of music, but it is very specifically a music about conversion to Christianity, which has nothing to do with any of the themes of this game. It's been no, like, forget even about a Christian god. Like, there's nothing in this game about, like, Kiryu believing in a higher power and that guiding him in any way, shape, or form. Like, no, that's not what the game is about. It would be fine if that was a theme in the game. It wasn't. So this is the great Japanese tradition of just picking something out of Western, usually specifically American culture, that kind of sounds cool, but not understanding what it's actually about and using it in inappropriate ways. Like, I don't even know what it was selling, but there's this clip of, like, a mannequin of JFK, or someone dressed as JFK, including wearing a JFK mask, kind of waving, while a jingle plays in the background. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And I think they were selling cars? I don't know. I'm not sure. Very Japanese. Anyway, this game was very Japanese. Part of what makes this game a lot of fun is that I don't think they tried very hard to... I don't think they tried at all. Like, they did not set out to sell this game in the West. But they just packed it full of... Like, it was made by people who cared. It really felt like a labor of love. I've never played the original. This is the HD remake. But, I mean, you can kind of tell there was a lot of love went into the original game. the contrast between the seriousness and sometimes over the top, like melodramatic. It was like a freaking Mexican telenovela. The over the top ludicrousness of some of the story, the main story. Like the villain who doesn't appear until the very end and is just like, I will murder my own daughter. I'm just gonna do it to do it. It's not even helping me anymore. Like Black Cat villain. Um, that's all. Like I would probably be making fun of how cheesy the story was if it wasn't part of a game, which like it's clearly, it's like the Doctor in Doctor Who once said. He's very serious about what he does, not necessarily the way he does it. The Yakuza games, like, I think you're meant to take the main story stuff seriously. But I can forgive it when the main story gets ludicrous because I know that the game makers clearly have some sense of humor. I don't think they're intentionally putting silly elements in the main story, but there's enough intentionally silly elements in there that, like, I think you can forgive it when things get silly. Jesus Christ, we're still going. I'm still getting texts. Yeah, my dad is just going to be texting me about cars. I spent like a good 45 minutes talking to my folks about what car I should go out and buy, so they're providing advice. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't really put together a lot of thoughts to have about this game. I've obviously been sharing thoughts throughout playing the game, and I think it's obvious that I enjoyed playing the game. I think in retrospect, I enjoyed Like a Dragon more. Obviously, Like a Dragon is a much newer game. The thing about this game, and I don't know if it will improve, by the time I was at the end of this game, I was kind of sick and tired of the actual core game mechanic. The core combat of the game, I don't know, some of this might be me being a bad player, but it's like, it's one of those games it doesn't force you to get that good, so when it does throw challenges or anything unique at you, you get frustrated very quickly, because you're like, hey, how come the thing that always works isn't working? So there's all sorts of individual things, like the timing on these counters is like, what the fuck? I don't know why it's working when it does and why it's not when it doesn't. How come if I get hit by a punch, I'm drawn into a combo, but if I hit an enemy with a punch and then follow up with a punch, they always get to block? All that kind of stuff. Like the core combat mechanic of this was pretty good for like a PS2 era game. But it's a long game, and like by the time you're done, it's like, yeah, there's not a whole lot more you can do with this mechanic. It really, like, this is kind of like Renegade for the NES with a big long story attached. I don't know, I'm rambling other than to say there's so many bells and whistles on the side of this thing, like you can't help but have fun. Um, there's so much to do. You could never feel ripped off if you bought this game for full price when it came out and played it, because there's so much stuff that you could be doing, and just enough, like, you know, dialogues with Majima showing up and stuff to make you spend a little time. If it was just like shogi and poker and all these side games, and there was a million side games, but you never had to do any of them, I guess I could see how that would not be that engaging. I don't know. I need to organize my thoughts. Maybe I'll come up with something better to say in the next video. This isn't the last video of the series, I don't think, because we have to go and try to do these side quests that are missing. That's what I need to dwell on, the side quests. There's so many side quests you don't have to do. I think that's where the real charm of the game is, because it's almost like parody, like the goofiness of the side quest is almost like a parody of the melodramaticness of the main quest. Does that make sense? Maybe I need to think about it. Let's wrap this video up so that I can come back to this later. I'll say this much, though. It's us and Haruka, the adorable little girl. If there was ever a game... Now, by modern standards, this, quote, open world game has a tiny little world. By modern standards. But as far as a story that builds up where, like, you might want to spend a little time hanging out in the open world... I think they do a pretty damn good job of setting that up here. And that's where we're about to go. Wandering around with Haruka in the city. Trying to see what life is going to be like after the manic events of Yakuza Kiwami.
すまない。またしまったな。
この子と遊んでたから。
Is that the same dog? Damn it, dog. Why are you so finicky about what water you drink?
もう行かなくちゃ。元気でね。
I mean, we could adopt the dog. Yeah. No,
こ
dogs
こ
are
に
a
いれ
pain.
ばこの子はお母さんと会えるかもしれないから。
You mean his bitch mother?
ごめんね、ゆうちゃん。遅くなっちゃった。
Aww.
ねえねえお母さん。
Can I have that dog? She doesn't want it.
私も来てくれるかな。
そうね。ゆうちゃんがいい子にしてたらきっと来てくれるわ。
Santa-san.
じゃあ私いい子にする。毎晩お母さんの肩叩いてあげるから。
あら、ほんと嬉しいわ。それじゃ早くお家に帰ってサンタさんを迎える準備しないとね。
Santa-san. I always think of him when I sing Amazing
おじ
Grace.
さん。
She just wait, did she never exist? We the only ones who could see her? Oh, never mind.
帰ろう。
I don't actually have a home. I walk from telephone booth to telephone booth saving my game.
ねえおじさんは何歳までサンタさん信じてた？
え
I don't even know who Santa-san is.
いくつだっけな。
Where do we
信
live?
じてたんだ。
That's a good question to wrap this up on. Alright, so I'm sure I'll get some text explaining Endu. Fine. Sorry. This has been the official biopic of Larry Fine. That makes no sense in this context. Alright, give me a save and then I'll call it a video. Cannot take a screenshot now. I had 81.7% completion. 528 street battles. Holy shit. Triple S Majima Everywhere rank. I'm glad they tracked that at the end. Premium Adventure and Climax Battle Mode has been added. Legend difficulty has been unlocked. Not interested in that. I will save game clear data. And then we can do some reading up later on what mode we actually want to use to see. I don't know what Climax Battle Mode means, but I am under the impression we want to use Premium Adventure Mode to see any content that we missed. All right, well, that's going to be it for this extra long video. When we come back next time, we got to find us Everyone's Idol Majima and other things as well. Catch you next time.